Todd Halleck here today from my home office up in Lewiston, Utah, talking a little bit about succession planning, particularly thinking about that question that often gets overlooked but is a really big one, and that's what comes next. What got me thinking about this? Well, learning that Tom Brady was coming out of retirement after 6 weeks, not a whole long time in retirement before he said, I can't do this. I got to come back for another go with the Buccaneers. And that's actually a very common problem that people run into as they transition out of one phase of life into the next. They don't really know what to do with themselves. And in the context of a family business or a farm or ranch, this has been your whole life for not just 20 years, I guess, in the case of Mr. Brady, but maybe 40 or 50 years of your life. And if it's in the farm context, maybe it's been your whole life. And now the thought of being put out to pasture, so to speak, doesn't sound that promising and a little bit scary. And so part of that succession planning, when we're thinking about what are our goals, what are the things we want to accomplish, is what comes next. One of the reasons I decided to do this video from my home office today is this picture behind me. This is the cabin that my grandpa built, and we spent a lot of time there in a little place called Coles Ranch, Arizona, just north of Payson, Arizona. And as my grandpa, he owned a construction company. As he retired, this was the place he liked to go. It's where he spent time. He was always working on it, doing things, going up and down the road there, helping people out with different projects. It's what gave him some purpose after he decided to cut back on his career and his business. And so having that next thing is really important. Sometimes in the farm and ranch context, it gets a little scary for people to think about, well, I don't want to be out of it. I just want to not be as in it anymore. And that's really a fairly common solution, is that next generation wants to keep you around, but it's just a matter of finding what that right place is. So we're not necessarily eliminating the people that are moving on, but maybe changing the purpose up a bit and where they are and how involved they are. And so as part of that succession planning discussion, don't neglect to think about what's next. You don't want to be like Tom Brady. Well, maybe you do want to be like Tom Brady, but in this context, 6 weeks after retirement, you don't want to be regretting it and already wanting to come back in. So give some thought to what comes next.